taas yhdessä. Tuleeko lisää ekspositiota? Totta kai tulee. Herra Clifford.
Can I help you? Holy shit. John. Is that you? What are you doing here? My wife's checked in. They don't want to repeat of last year. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were that.
Toi Deadman toi toinen. Deadman, Deadman. Katsotaan karttaa ensiksi. Tonne on joku pistänyt ziplinin. Täälläkin on zipline. Pääsisiköhän tonne lähelle? Eikö nyt mä tiputin jotain? Tuon pyssyn tuohon. Tää on vähän creepyä ehkä, siis sillai snadisti creepyä.
Take care of her. And don't worry, she won't go necro. Milligan's special. Be funny if these Havars ended up being the key to saving us all.
Siinä luulla kuolemaa vastaan.
Order assigned.
Niin mä vahingossa lastasin 2 mukaan. Sitten edessä on lentoa.
Scan. Have a pleasant journey. Keep on keeping on.
No niin, Bibi on iloinen.
Someone's happy.
Pääsee ulos.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
This one's for you.
Mun mielestä se oli tohon. No, tästä pääsee tohtori. Mitähän se valittaa oikein?
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear.
Ois, tuolla olisi yksi. Mulla ei tää vielä yksinkertaisesti ulotu sinne asti.
Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Sitten vaan tarvii lähteä kiipeämään. Ei tässä muu auta. Tässä on tuossa pihassa, niin jos mä saan tuonne ylös pistettyä ton PCC, mitä mulla on mukana, niin tietysti saadaan tommonen ziplaini siinä avuksi. Ainakin takaisin tulo on sellainen helpompaa.
Well, let's get this show moving on.
Se on hyvä, että muutkin pelaajat on pistellyt tänne erilaisia esineitä.
Don't mind me. Hello?
Thanks for the help.
Sitten olemme tässä. Ei siinä kai muuta kuin vasemmalta kiertää. Ja taas sitten copyrightattua musiikkia. Nauttikaa, koska no. Tää on aina menee sitten YouTubessa tai Twitchissä niin nämä videot. YouTubessa tulee se musiikkikappale vaan ilmoitetaan, että sulla on copyrightattua materiaali tässä, mutta sitten taas Twitchissä niin kun se vaan muutettaa nämä ääniosuudet. Sydämen näköinen järvi. Alkaa muuten saappaat olla aika huppuriassa kunnossa. Tän on kyllä aika päheä paikka tällä Hardmanilla. Sieltä portaat. Pas päheä.
Delivery complete.
Hyvässä terveydessä ruumiin. Ei kun... Joo. Ei tullu vahinkoa.
Request to join UCA. Registered. Awaiting Cupid connection.
Thermal bad.
Please proceed into the facility with a cadaver. Good work.
Vaat.
Hardman.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Kaveri oli kliinisesti kuollut. Edellinen episodi muuten oli aika lyhyt. Tässä tulee nyt tosi nopeasti nämä viimeiset episodit.
Well, you certainly caught me with my pants down. Glad you could make it, Sam. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm you, but I am what I am.
Aha.
Please.
Kaikki on
lay
ihan
down
outoja. No, kunhan ei ainakaan taserilla ala omaa sydäntään käynnistää, niin...
Still no sign of them.
You know your heart stops beating.
It stops every 21 minutes. I spend 3 minutes on the beach, and then return.
Mielenkiintoinen elämä.
60 deaths and 60 resurrections per day.
Jaha.
60 opportunities to search the beach for my departed family. This is how I live. This is my life.
Jos
So,
tota voi elämiseksi
while you've traveled to and from the scene an
kutsua.
impressive number of times, my beach count is a little higher. 218,549.
Melkoinen kuolija.
I see myself in that crater. My wife and my child. It's like looking at the shape of my heart. The doctors called it myocardial chordophobia. Mine is an especially unusual case. I have pictures. Care to see Hartmann's heart-shaped heart? No, you really should. It doesn't run in the family. You know, I never came to terms with their loss. In the days that followed, I became obsessed with an idea that the beach is real and they are on it. I would induce cardiac arrest, 3 minutes at a time, and search for them, day after day after day.
Okei.
Also, you could say goodbye.
Quite the opposite. It is said that everyone's beach is different. So what if everyone's afterlife is different too? I find the thought terrifying, spending eternity alone, which is why I decided to find my family and make sure to move on with them.
You mean die with them?
If death would see us reunited, then yes. But the repeated cardiac arrests took their toll on my heart. The muscle gradually deformed. And after a while, they started calling me the beach scientist. Hartmann. I'm glad we could have this conversation. Oh.
Ja edelleenkään tykkää kosketuksesta.
A body that doesn't necrotize.
Joo.
No sign of decomposition. It's as if she were still alive. The perfect mummy. An impeccable corpse.
What's wrong?
Where's the other thing you were supposed to bring? Ah, found it. Behold.
Wait, dead man.
It appears to be an umbilical cord. Human by the looks of it, I think. But this was no ordinary conduit between fetus and placenta. It looks more like a BT's tether. And this was Mama's? Yes. A body that doesn't necrotize and an umbilical cord connected to the beach. These are remarkable discoveries, Sam. Enough to set my sore heart racing.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
I apologize if our conversation gets cut short. I must go back to the beach and look for my wife and child. One person, one beach. That's the rule. But I'm the exception. My beach is connected to others,
Mielenkiintoista.
as if it were the beneficiary of a coronary bypass. Maybe this twisted heart of mine made it possible. All I know is that I will find them. Even if my every visit raises new questions, I'll have my answers one day. One day.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
The battlefields. The endless wars you found yourself trapped in.
Nopea keskustelu.
Why do World War era soldiers wander the beach a century after they fell? Normally the souls of the dead move on. The beach is just a corridor, a place through which they pass on the way to the other side. But if regret, resentment, a fervent desire to remain, if these feelings are powerful enough, they may give rise to an altogether different beach. A collective purgatory for an army of the damned.
Voi ku kiva. Siis jos kapinalaiset on jotenkin näihin liittyneitä.
His misery and hatred, combined with your BB acting as some sort of catalyst, have brought these battlefields to our world.
2 minutes to cardiac arrest. Please proceed to a safe location.
It's just a theory.
You think Higgs is pulling the strings? Pulling all their strings?
Ensure you are in a stable position.
I don't know. But evidence does suggest that Higgs brought them here.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Oh, before I forget, I have a favor to ask.
Activating lab security measures.
Could you just relax until I come back? Time stops on the beach, but not in the scene. Rest assured, it'll only feel like 3 minutes to you.
Niin jos
We'll
kaverit tulee
continue
takaisin.
this shortly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mikähän toi tiimalasifunktio? Melkoinen kokoelma. JJ Sutting. Entertainment. Tuntematonta mineraaliakin löytyy. Kuollut susi.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
No luck. Visit 218,550. Oh, sorry. Where were we? I may be used to the 21-minute cycle, but for a first-time face-to-face meeting, there's just too much to cover in one go-around.
Can't be easy living like this.
Yes. And no. Now that I'm acclimated to it, it isn't especially, onerous. Defecation, pollution, nutrition. Most of life's basic functions fit rather easily into a 21-minute time slot. Sleep is the tricky one. And intercourse, I suppose. Verbal or physical. Not that someone in my position has to worry much about either. Do you read, Sam? Listen to music. Watch films. You know, I keep busy. I have a collection of music, television shows, some very interesting short films, and stories. Everything consumable within a 21-minute window. All from before the Death Stranding, of course. But honestly, the 21 minutes I spend here, all downtime, nothing more. Time spent waiting to go back to the search. My body may be present, but my soul is on the beach. I'm already dead.
I know that feeling. Lost my family in an accident.
Well, I never expected you to open up to me. As it happens, I've read about your circumstances. I lost my family in an accident, too. I was in the ICU having heart surgery, out of town, in the city. When it was clear that I was going to pull through, my wife took my daughter back to the house to collect some things for me. And then they were caught in the void outs. The city and the hospital were spared the worst, but the shockwave knocked out the power and my life support. I woke up on the beach. The people who died in the two void outs were there. What happened? What's going on? I saw my wife and my daughter in the procession. Hey! It's me! Where are you going? Wait! Don't leave without me! No! Don't go! Please, don't go! The ICU's backup generator kicked in, and I was brought back to life by the defibrillator. Exactly 21 minutes after my heart had stopped. And that was the last time I saw my family. It's my damned heart's fault that we were torn apart, but it's also the reason I'll see them again someday. It defines me. I am Hartman.
Weird.
Ever since, I've walked the beaches of others. I follow my family's footsteps for a while, and when I get tired, I return here to continue my research. It's funny though. Even when my heart stops, the pain lingers. You have any family photographs, Sam? Pity.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
You mind telling me what I'm doing here before you go back to the beach?
Oh, of course. There's a prepper-owned station in this area. Our scientists stationed there are researching material from before the Death Stranding.
What kind of material?
The Earth has a long memory. It's trying to tell a story, one that goes back to the very beginning, one that not even the Death Stranding could erase. The scientists are all colleagues of mine from the earlier expedition. I'd like you to bring them onto the chiral network. Amelie proposed we establish our research posts along this belt. Despite a worldwide search, this is the only area known to contain fossils from the late Cretaceous period,
Niin edellisen Death Strandingin
when the dinosaurs died out.
tapahtumapaikka ilmeisesti.
The assumption being that the last ones lived here, and here alone. You see, hiding in the Earth then are memories of a major mass extinction.
Joo.
Clues that could tell us how to survive our predicament. Certainly, that was Amelie's hope as part of the advanced team when she assigned our backup team here. The past informs the present and aids us in building the future. She was careful to impress that upon us before she went west.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
Shut up. I'm putting you on mute. Sometime later, we began to observe unusual activity in the tar belts outside Edgenot City. Vast quantities of tar began surfacing, spreading,
Mielenkiintoista.
consuming many of my colleagues, as well as a chiral way station. The whole incident defied explanation.
You think Higgs is to blame?
I don't know, but we needed that way station. It was essential to expanding the chiral network westward. That's why I'm asking you for your help in building a new one. It won't be much given the handful of equipment we've managed to scrape together. Nothing like the knot cities, that's for sure. But a knot is still a knot. Sam, I want you to use the Cupid to put the scientists on the network, then go to Amelie. Afterwards, we can get back to the important job of researching the deaths.
Joo. Pehmustettu lattia.
Don't worry about him, Sam. The air mat floor absorbs the impact. I'll unlock the door for you.
Hartman ei tykännyt tosta. Okei. Okay. Hän antoi.
Sam, you heard it. You can grab the order at a delivery terminal. Listen up, Sam. For this run, you'll be transporting an antimatter bomb. A Bridges paleontologist working on a dig says he needs it. Apparently, the fossils he wants to study are buried deep beneath tar, and the only way he can get to them is by blowing it wide open. Now, hopefully I don't need to tell you to be extra careful when handling high-yield explosives, but in case I do, make sure you keep that container in one piece, no matter what. Sam, I'm sure you haven't forgotten. but you need to be extremely careful with that antimatter bomb, especially when transporting it by a carrier or vehicle. Any irregularities should trigger an alarm. Don't ignore it.
Order assigned. Weapons restrictions lifted. Begin scan. Standard brake design. Weapons restrictions lifted. Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons restrictions lifted. Keep on keeping on. Construction complete. Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Fragile Express ID verified. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Delivering cargo.
Much appreciated, friend. Thanks to you, we can finally move ahead with the dig. I swear, this place is bad enough without having to worry about getting asphyxiated. Not that I need to tell you. You did it after all, though I can't for the life of me imagine how. You can set up the chiral network while I work. Anyway, as it turns out, Sam Bridges, I have a favor to ask. A local porter was on his way here with something very valuable, but dropped it en route. It's a 200-million-year-old ammonite, which looks, he says, almost as if it were still alive. He apparently stumbled across it in a boulder field, which had previously been hidden beneath a glacier, but that's not the half of it. The man claims this ammonite has an umbilical cord. An umbilical cord. Color me skeptical, but the specimen merits study, and I wasn't about to leave such delicate work to an amateur. So I asked him to carve out the whole surrounding chunk of rock and bring it here to me. Naturally, I wanted to compare it with contemporary specimens in the vicinity, which is why I had him excavate a number of those in addition to the one he told me about. But what does the dumb fuck go and do? He loses the whole shipment. Didn't even have the good sense to mark which container had the ammonite with the umbilical cord. The cargo was supposedly lost in the area to the southwest, where toxic gases have a tendency to build up. Old Mr. Reliable claims his cargo scanner is broken, and there's no way he can recover the shipment. But you could track it down. To protect you against the fumes, I'll provide you with an oxygen mask. Just to be safe. You can pick it up when you accept the order.
That fossil could represent an epochal discovery. While there are examples of viviparous fish, an ammonite with an umbilical cord is unheard of. And if it is indeed 200 million years old, it would also correspond with the end Triassic extinction, another one of the big five. Could the umbilical cord be connected to the beach? We must recover that cargo at all costs. It could provide a vital clue to the mechanisms underpinning the Death Stranding. We're so close. So very, very close to grasping the true nature of the phenomenon. Hurry, Sam. We cannot risk that ammonite being lost.
Good work. New order available. Please access...
An oxygen mask, huh? Good idea. It'll filtrate the air and keep you breathing normally. In addition to protecting you from toxic gases, it'll also help to reduce fatigue from strenuous activity, making it easier to keep your balance. If it didn't have a limited battery life, I'd tell you to keep it on the whole time. But it does, so don't.